To get revenge on the man who destroyed her life, she did something no one saw coming. One day, she dressed up beautifully and went to visit him in prison. Ella never brought up the past. Instead, she kept the conversation casual, chatting about everyday things like nothing had happened. No one could have guessed what she was really planning. A chilling scheme had already begun to unfold behind the scenes. 6 months earlier, Ella had been a young, attractive nurse who somehow never seemed to have luck with dating. One of her coworkers tried to help by setting her up with a friend. The next morning, while Ella was getting ready, the doorbell rang. Standing outside was a scruffy-looking man. She almost turned him away, but out of politeness, she let him in. At first, everything seemed normal, but when Ella came back out wearing a different dress, the look in his eyes suddenly changed. Her instincts kicked in immediately. After questioning him, she realized she'd mistaken him for her blind date. She tried to force him out, but the man locked the door, grabbed her by the hair, and overpowered her with ease. Minutes later, he fled the apartment in panic. Only then did the real date finally arrive. When no one answered the door, he let himself in and was horrified by what he saw. Later, while speaking to police, he could barely bring himself to describe the scene. Meanwhile, Ella lay bruised and motionless in a hospital bed, staring blankly at the ceiling. She kept trying to remember where she had seen the attacker before, until it finally clicked that he had delivered food to her apartment twice in the past. Using that clue, police tracked him down quickly. But even after the arrest, Ella fell into a deep depression. Her father stayed quietly by her side, heartbroken for his daughter, but powerless to help. Eventually, Ella decided to sell the house and start over somewhere else. But after what had happened there, no one wanted to buy it. She had no choice but to keep living in the same place. Then things got worse. Every time she tried to focus at work, her hands started trembling uncontrollably. For a nurse, it was career-end. A coworker gave her a surgical practice doll to help her regain stability, but no matter how much she practiced, the shaking never stopped. Failure after failure left her frustrated and exhausted. After countless sleepless nights, something inside her finally seemed to change. She began writing letters to the man in prison. At first, every letter was returned unopened, but Ella refused to give up. She wrote to him every single day. Oddly enough, during that period, she started seeming lighter, calmer, even smiling again for the first time in months. Then one day, the man finally wrote back. In his letter, he admitted that she had won and agreed to let her visit him. During their first face-to-face conversation, he couldn't even look her in the eye. Ella, meanwhile, acted warm and gentle, casually asking how he'd been doing. The man looked genuinely surprised and even laughed awkwardly. As Ella left that day, a faint, unreadable smile crossed her face. After that, she visited him her makeup became more polished each time, almost as if she were preparing for dates instead of prison visits. Then one week, he didn't show up. He had gotten sick and needed minor surgery. When they met again, he showed Ella the scar from the procedure. She softly asked if it still hurt, though there was a flicker of satisfaction hidden in her eyes. Over the next few months, the two grew strangely close. One day, the man excitedly told her he'd be released soon because of good behavior. Ella froze for a second. Sensing her unease, he promised that once he got out, he would spend the rest of his life making things right. Ella simply nodded, deep thought. Not long after, while at work, she received a bouquet of flowers. They were from him. He had already been released and couldn't wait to see her again. Ella turned him down, claiming she wasn't ready yet, but when she got home after work,